So the Morocco 2017 tour, again another extremely popular Magellan trip, especially this year, and we're expecting it to be so even more last year with all the stuff that we've got on social media and stuff about it, all the photos of everyone having a great time. But it's one of those trips that again feels quite adventurous, but actually doing it the way that we do it, we take all the sort of the hassle and the worry and the scary bits out, and you still get to have your fantastic adventure and ride all the way down to the Sahara, but you know there's a good backup team behind you, sort of coaching you along all the way and sharing all the stories in the evenings with the rest of the group and the rest of the crowd. It's a 19-day tour, relatively long mileage wise, but all the days are sort of quite short and manageable. It's normally sort of 4 or 5 hours in the saddle most days. As with most of the Magellan trips, or as with all of the Magellan trips, in fact, you have your 3 stops a day, coffee, lunch, coffee. Your sat-nav takes you from one to the other and then to the hotel in the evening. You've got your tour pack with all your information that you need along the way, so that allows you to ride on your own during the day, or with a little group of 2 or 3 other riders, or with the guide, or you can wake up late, leave a bit late, or you can go ahead early if you want to take photos and all that sort of stuff. So on this 19-day trip, we hop on the ferry over from Plymouth down to Santander. We have an afternoon playing around in the Picos National Park on the way down, and then we spend a couple of days, sort of 2 or 3 days, going down through Spain, stopping off in Ciudad Real in Burgos. We go down to Algeciras, and then we get the ferry over to deepest, darkest northern Africa itself. We go in and then we do a huge big loop around the whole country. We go down to Chefchaouen, to Fez, to Rashidia. We go over the Atlas Plateau and the High Atlas, and the Tijantika High Alpine Pass, tallest pass in Africa. And then we drop down into the Sahara Desert itself. We stay in the desert camps, and then we go back up round via Marrakesh to Imperial Rabat, and then back up to Tangier. Hop on a little ferry back to Spain, 3 or 4 days back up through Spain, and then it's the end of the adventure, and everyone's ready and sort of planning for their next trips, and sharing tall tales of being chased around the desert on camels and quad biking and all the adventures in between. It really is a very, very cool tour. Morocco, people have lots of expectations of what it's going to be like, what it's going to be about, some of which are often correct. Marrakesh is a little bit of a pain, quite touty, but just one of those things. But the rest of the country is just superb. Doing it on your own bike feels just magical. The scenery is breathtaking, very sandy in places, as you'd expect, but also green and lush, and especially as you go up into the mountains. It's amazing that you're in Northern Africa. You often don't feel like it. You could be in various different areas in Europe. And the people all the way through are so friendly.
Nina? Nina? Elle est là.
Sea of Arabia.
He's still bald, there's no change there.
You didn't get a hair transplant.
What up? Up over and say, oh. Right, I feel safer on this. Remember as a treat.
Alright.
I bet you don't even remember us. We want names. We want you to name the names.
Yeah.
All our names.
Can't remember.
I bet you don't. Who's that?
What's that, mate?
Derek. Yeah. Beverly. Nancy Storm. Nancy.
Storm Nightingale.
Louisa.
Impressive.
Me. Doug. Not Paul. This one I'm not sure.
Hi.
Stephen.
Come on, Mary.
Irene. Conrad, definitely. Vanessa. Big Stu. Daddy David. Give me no. It's
Chuck Norris.
I was doing him in the way back.
FFP, they drove by.
That's stuck in the road. When you're ready, if the hat fits, wear it.
Hello, my friend. Come.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. We need to walk. Woo!
Okay.
Oh, stand up, stand up.
Slick.
Don't you bite me.
Go on. Get your piece of flesh.
Mike, can hold that lead for me.
I'm not going near that.
Hold the lead, please.
Hi.
Look at you.
You look the part, Steve.
Hi.
This is mighty high. Look how blooming fat it is for me.
Absolutely enormous. Now you know what it's like being Mike.
Did you get the beer? Let's get things
He's bringing it with him. They're off to get the beer.
The foot pegs.
Enjoy your bonfire, guys.
Are you coming?
Yeah, I'm just getting you guys first.
Oh, thanks.
I'll need to put the GoPro. Party on, boy. Smooth. Stuart, calm down. Stop looking so happy. Yes, I am. Leading from the rear.
lots of our riders on this tour have ridden with us before, and they've been to various other destinations in Europe, but as usual we've got sort of a 20-30% contingent that are new to the trips. They really enjoyed the format, they really enjoyed the challenge and the new sights and things that they saw in Morocco, and I think the highlights of the trip were, well, they were sort of legion for many people, but I think for most the overnight stay in the desert camp, riding camels out into the dunes and then sleeping out under the stars was pretty fantastic. The Atlas Film Studios is always good fun, going and seeing where they filmed Gladiator and various sort of Star Wars films. The couple of the days riding through the desert itself, just feeling like you're on another planet, sort of a cross between Lawrence of Arabia, Star Wars and Easy Rider, is a very, very one-off experience for most people, even those that do a lot of motorcycle touring. When you come down and you do the Morocco trip, it is something definitely quite different.
Hola! No, 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 no.
Performance art piece, please. No. Nicholas. Nicholas ladies shouldn't ride motorbikes.
I lost my mind.
Yeah, you did. I lost my mind.
I lost my mind.
I lost my soul.
You did.
Love it, Jerry.
I didn't have to announce the chat.
What you happened? To keep it to yourself. Then I think you deserve something special.
As you may or may not know, I retired recently, and Irene, my beloved, asked me to marry her. She convinced me to invest all my retirement fund into a new adventure, a new venture. It was a farm over on the Wirral, Birkenhead. It was a chicken dating agency. And it lasted about 6 months because it did fail. Why did it fail, you ask? Yeah, why? Because it was so difficult to make ends meet.
You've just redeemed yourself.
Any trip that you do on your bike with new people is always a fun way of touring, but we're very lucky in the way that our trips are structured, that it encourages people to sort of get out of their comfort zone and share little adventures, and I think that's one of the many reasons that they work so well and why we get such a great sense of camaraderie in between the groups quite quickly. People make friends on these tours and they stay friends forever, and they come touring year on year and going to different destinations and sharing their stories about people they've met on other trips who they've bumped into on future trips, and you know, they're all very busy on the rider page on Facebook and sharing all their photos and getting excited about little things that they didn't know someone had done on one of the days, and you know, interesting places that they'd stopped for coffee and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's a really nice element to this tour, but to all the tours, but to this tour sort of specifically, just because I think people are a little bit out of their comfort zone.
Sahara and back, which has made a dream come true in great comfort. I felt looked after every single step of the way. I was also left to go on my own ride every single step of the way that I wanted to. The hotels were great and the company was awesome. Will that do?
All I've got to say about this is we've been to the desert and we've had an adventure. That was fantastic.
Everything was great. The food, the people. No one couldn't do enough for you. It was absolutely fantastic. Nothing bad. Everything was absolutely fantastic.
Spot on.
Number
10 out
one.
of 10. Top of your game. Well done. Thank you.
It's the best tour that we've been on. Whether we've gone by our own devices or other groups, it's the best one we've had. And
Great idea using the sat nav.
when it works.
Yeah. When it works, yeah. It's great. You're on your own, but you're not. There's always somebody there to help you out.
Yeah, the local Garda.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And the group has been
charge you
amazing.
€100.
How we all get on, and it's been a laugh a minute.
Yeah.
So
Definitely doing it again.
Yeah, waiting for the Americas.
Clearly it was a magnificent tour, organised by a genius to get us all there and back in one piece, mostly. All the hard work was done back in Blighty and it was just left to us to enjoy a mind-blowing trip.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Fabulous.
It lived
Awesome.
up to all expectations. Lovely hotels, some quirkier than others, but loved every one of them. Brilliant.
We'll be back at the
Absolutely
drop of a
brilliant.
hat.
Yeah, definitely.
Well done.